a little bit kind of like something. Here we
Okay.
go. Are we on? Oh, we're
Uh-huh.
live. All right. Thank you all for joining us. Connecting Flights.
Hey,
Victoria, Renee, Samir, we're back again.
that's right.
Excited to circle back and see all this going on in this day in LA and in the industry with Victoria, with ourselves. And we're just saying how last night I was at the DC Grammy chapter block party. And that was awesome. Really nice to circle back and, see friends that I've been, running in circle with, all like, there's a governance, right? There's like the president of the chapter, there are board members, like this is for the Grammy Recording Academy. And
Cool.
and so like, just to see friends kind of like that have been around and just get up and hold positions and do well for the community, and everybody's moving and shaking. So when we get these these round get-togethers, it's real nice, and we had a good time. It was good to see everyone last night for sure.
Are you on the board of the academy, or how do you know you just have friends that are on the board, or how do you
I'm
decide?
come they gave me a cool bag.
Cool. I
Yeah,
love this.
isn't that cool?
It
Yeah,
is
I have friends who are all in it. Yeah, for sure.
cool.
I've
That's
worked.
so cool.
Yeah, I'm a Grammy a Pro voting member, so I'm a voting member, which is what it is. And
Awesome.
but then there are like vice presidents and the whole and presidents and stuff like that, and they do a lot of work. I've with the community, with the clients, and with the law. They go put
Awesome.
laws forward for for us artists and things like that. And then there's kind of like a board members where there's like, so every city, most cities, I don't know how many chapters there are, but they're even less anyway, whatever. So yeah, no, I'm not. I'm a musician and I vote and I hang out and and it's my community. So
That's what's up. That's
yeah.
great that you get to like have those experiences. Actually, that's how we met, right? Like
Oh yeah,
a sort of mutual friend was nominated for a Grammy, and
that's right.
you're there showing support. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah, one of those Grammy Circle events. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a nice community. Everyone's doing stuff, and the
It
scene
feels
in DC is nice. Yeah.
it feels like we need, how there's like SAG-AFTRA that's for, I know there's like a music chapter to SAG-AFTRA, but like there's not really a union for musicians. I mean, I guess SAG-AFTRA, but is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Like it's a different thing entirely. I feel like that's cool. So like the Grammy, like is the Grammy board, are they the people who can like talk to streaming services and are helping having that conversation and making those progressive decisions for us moving forward with like, hey, you got to pay the artist, man, like
Yeah.
they've like all the new laws, like who is
Yeah.
are they the people that are responsible for
Yeah, mobilizing and stuff like that. And because like I'm rooted in DC, it all happens downtown, and so like we get the communications that they're going to go represent, or it's their day to have the hearing with whatever committee that's dealing with the arts and stuff like this, and helping to get signatures to like get our concerns represented and then ultimately
that's
met and
important.
stuff. Yeah, so that's a part of what they do. Yeah, I'm not sure
That's
honestly, like you know I see them at the events. I'll work with some of them creatively on the side, go see them perform. But like in terms of what they actually do on the day to day, it's a lot more than meets the eye. Like, I've engaged with them, with working, like as like the give back to the community efforts. I think I came back from one of those the other day, and then they do this law stuff. They put on these events so that we can kind of hang out, and then they bring in like city government stuff to like get grants, help artists and studios get grants if you want it, or representation.
Really
Yeah, it's
like
like
city grants.
yeah, like city grants, art grants.
So, like, what does that look like? So, like, if they're gonna give you a grant, then you like what use the public space or something, and give back a percentage of whatever the money is that comes into the. How does that work?
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and like, and it's they're not there give offering a grant. They're there showing you what grants are available.
Got it.
So then you can like, okay, well then I kind of want to go this lane, and then you kind of like fire your way through the information gathering, and then kind of like go down that channel. It depends where in the industry you are, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
what's up. So you
yeah.
do community outreach stuff. I love that.
Yeah, I did. I mean, to keep it real, is because they offered. I mean, it was like it was wild, you know. But you know how Lisa, my wife, went through breast cancer like a year and a half ago, something like this, through a hospital. We did a lot of the treatment there, and so then the president of the academy was saying that they're going to put on a performance for patients in the hospital. They have a music program
Love that.
at her hospital. So I was like,
Wow.
I'm absolutely going in. Like, yes, I want
Yeah.
to. So
How
I
do I
signed.
become part of
Yeah.
this? Yeah.
So
That's
yeah, it's sweet. It was nice.
awesome.
And of course, already, like I circled back with people that were there, and this was like a month ago, last night. And I was like, oh, now I know who you are. Oh yeah, now I know who you are. And so it's just the community building part, which me, I like my community. I like to
Of
chat it up.
course.
So yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
You're good at that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like you're a good, what's that thing? The mender, right? Like
Okay,
the, you know
cool.
what I mean? Like the people, yeah.
I like it. No, I get it.
Yeah, it was, I did a thing called for, like, the Lollipop Network, which is, like, similar, where
Okay.
there's sick kids, and you go in and you write songs with the kids and,
Oh
like, give
yeah,
them and we
yeah.
recorded it
Oh
together,
yeah.
um, and they get a copy of the song that they made
Oh,
and
that's so
it's
sweet.
really fun, it's a good time, so I love doing stuff like that, I
Yeah,
wanna do that again.
yeah,
We
yeah.
should do something like that, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right?
Definitely opportunities, Yeah. It's yeah, ultimately, I think it's giving is such a necessary part of everything that we do. So like, yeah, it's
Yes.
keep our commitment there, and just make sure we deliver.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I get more out of it than anybody else.
Yeah, that's how it works. It's a win-win-win,
It's a
but
win-win-win.
you gotta
It
you
makes
gotta give
me
it.
feel good to make them feel good.
Yeah.
It that's the best feeling you can have.
Well, I think that's what it's
It's
all
like
about.
bringing joy out of other people is like it's not selfless per se because
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it makes me happy, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, you definitely get the glow too.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
That's what.
I had a full circle moment yesterday. I went to the studio in Venice. It was sick. Just oh, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it was just a super cool studio. Big. Like just when you think it's like, oh, here's the whole studio. And then there's like, nope, there's like an alleyway that attaches to this building, which is also the studio. And then you're just like, whoa, that's cool. And this guy I've known for a long time. Um, he was just, like came in, they gave me a W-9 and we're just like, "Hey, can you put some vocals down on this song?" And so, I did it, and it was like they're so fast, like, because there's the producer was just, like, talking to the engineer who's also he's a mixer sound designer, right? And I've never watched someone do sound design right in front of me,
Right.
especially when it's, like, do today.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Nice.
Um, and it's funny because it was actually for I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm just gonna say it. Um,
Beep.
for
Yeah.
Simon Malls, and it's funny because I went to school with them, like the Simons, like the Scott Simons. So they're like, when I say,
Wow, that is a full circle moment. Holy
yeah,
moly.
they have like
Wow.
more money than God. These people, like
Oh,
every mall, pretty much everywhere, not just in the United States, everywhere, like everywhere.
yeah.
They it's Simon Malls. So, like,
Wow.
yeah, so, like, when I tell you this girl's house was like a compound, it was like a small territory.
Yeah.
Like, take the biggest mall you can think of, and just, like, their house is bigger than that. I'm just like,
Oh
"Wow."
man.
And
So
I
you're
haven't talked
talking you're talking top of the triangle here.
yeah,
Like
100%.
like generationals back.
Yes. we're talking generational wealth.
Yeah,
Like,
like
great
they got that
grandkids
sweet spot
won't have
in
to
that
worry.
boom. Yeah, there are
Yep.
a few of those for sure, and they own Papoose.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's essentially an heiress,
yeah,
you know.
that's what it is. Yes,
Yeah, she's an heiress.
yes,
Yeah, going to, you know, school with an heiress, that's wild, you know?
yeah.
Um, but I message her and be like, funny story, I think I'm the vocal on your next commercial."
Wow, really?
Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know yet, but, you know.
But that's awesome, man. I love it. You know, so much of what's going on in our circle, Victoria, has
Yeah.
that feeling to me, which is like, you know, it's like it really makes it a sensational situation. You
Yeah,
know,
it
it's like
does.
because it's not just here; it's also coming through us like that. You know, and it's like that is a really that's it's a vibe.
It's a
The
vibe.
vibe
It's crazy. I
person.
love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. But
I
you know,
know.
it's great. You know, yeah. There's so many places I can riff off of what you're saying. I like that, you know, when the opportunity of just being in the studio and then being called in to like to sing a track, you know, is
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, this is why I'll circle back to that because I'm proud for Deborah Bond. She's an artist out here who you know, used to circle in the studio, you know, and yesterday was her first day. As she just got the president position in the DC chapter, so now she's starting.
Wow.
She's getting over. She's grabbing the baton, you know, like as we speak. And like, and we were in the studio. I was working on my record with Nico, and she was like the artist in resident. We have artists in residence. Like there's usually an artist living at the studio that's dope and doing great things. So that was her. We have a violin player there now. But anyway, so like that was her, and we were there, and I was trying to do this duet, you know, and with this other artist, and it wasn't coming through. And then so we're like, hey, you're around. You want to jump in? And she jumped in, and she like, and so we like went a song that is like very dear to me, you know, from the album I recorded eons ago. Is like we did it together, and we made a video and everything, you know, and it's like,
Wow.
yeah. So I
So
like that yesterday you were walking in and you
yeah.
know, the hey Victoria, come on in. And sure enough, it's pulling you into like a nice story that I'm sure is gonna show itself.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, it was a super fun song. I mean, we can't obviously play it or show it until all the paperwork is done.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, it was just, yeah, I love doing that. Like, I love doing demo work. And some of the other producers that were there, there's tons of producers in there, and they're all working on the same thing,
yeah,
but differently.
yeah. Like
Um, yeah, and so they were like, "Hey, I heard you did I heard you did the octave harmony," which is not really a harmony, that's unison technically, but you
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean. "I
yeah,
heard you
yeah.
did the octave on this part. Can you do it on mine?" And
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, man, for sure."
yeah,
And it's just like,
yeah,
I'm just, like, getting paid but to, like, sing songs, and it's the
yeah,
best. Like,
yeah,
I love doing this so much. It's like,
yeah,
I would have done it free, you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
don't tell anybody that. But
Yeah.
it's just a good time.
Well, because of the work that the chapters do in DC, make it so that you can, you know, you can actually also get paid for it. So it's good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah,
And so it's just like, and just meeting, super cool people like that have like this girl walks in at the end and she's just like, in like this common area. She's like, "Hi." She's like, "Is this like a public building? Like I've just walked by here so many times and I'm just like, what is this place?" And they're like, "Man, come on in." Like they had a bar and there's like a lobby area. How
yeah,
many studios have you been in that actually have like a stocked refrigerator and like snacks?
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like that never happens. And
yes,
it's the best. I'm like, wow,
yeah,
you guys really all the snacks. Like
yeah, yeah.
that's like you shouldn't have. I can't be around that. They're like the what do you call it?
But
The
the guilty
brownie
pleasure
brittle.
section, guilty pleasures, go.
Yes, love them. Yeah. Yeah, the brownie brittle, the Gatorade Zeros, they're like at the end, they're like, "Let's have tequila," because they were celebrating. They're like, "We haven't celebrated in a really long time." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Great." They have the music for like Anchorman and like the most interesting man alive and the Super Bowl, just like they just like articles of articles and articles. They've been around there for a long time. So if
yeah,
they, and it's just like, you know what? it's cool. Like, you guys are doing your thing.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I've known this guy for years. He just doesn't. He's so quiet. I
yeah.
had no idea he had like 4 tracks on Dr. Dre's Chronic album, and like
Get
Madonna.
out.
I know. I'm like,
That's
I'll introduce you guys
ridiculous.
next time you're here. Yeah, he's just like, he doesn't talk about it
Wow.
ever. Like,
Because
he's just like,
that's huge.
he's so chill. He's like, he's got a couple cuts on some Madonna's albums, and like,
Wow. See, okay.
I
Yeah.
know.
So
I was
that's a certain point. It's like, yeah,
like, dude, it's just cool to like. I love how like humble people are. You're like that too.
oh,
Where people are just like really out there doing their thing. But just like I always say, like Lamborghinis don't need commercials.
yeah, okay,
You know what I mean?
all right,
It's the people who work in silence that are like, oh, got it.
yeah,
You're, he
wow,
doesn't feel the need to, he's a quiet dude.
yeah, yeah,
Does
yeah,
not have much to say,
yeah, yeah,
And like, there's someone that we both know, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's just like, and they had like a lot of, they had a nice little resume, but it's
yeah,
just at any point where they can bring it up, they will,
yeah,
and it's just
yeah,
like, it's kind of cool when someone has all of that and they're just kind of low key about it. Like, I'm
yeah.
like, I was like, hey,
It's easy with it, you know?
yeah, I was like, what was I asking? I was like, have you seen Malibu's Most Wanted? And he was like, so random.
Yeah,
And he was like, yeah, I have like 2 cuts in that movie. I'm like, you have cuts in every movie? Like, but
yeah,
they do, and there's like actual articles about it. But it's just like, and that family vibe, like there's women producers.
yeah.
How
Nice.
often
We
does
love
that
that.
happen?
Yeah, I mean, not enough. That's what we say. And so every time we have like women interns want to get in, and like we're like, please,
Do
and
it.
try to like become a producer, like we've
Yeah,
really tried to like,
honestly.
yeah, yeah, because that's awesome when you see that.
I know, but and beyond that, so there's a whole staff of women producers
Yeah,
and a staff of women mixers.
yeah, yeah.
I've
Heck
met
yeah,
like
man.
2 in my life,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they're like doing it. Like
Oh
they're
yeah.
not like just aspiring and like mess around on with some
No,
beats here and there.
they're
They're like,
getting the drills. They're getting
yeah,
that's awesome.
and they're respected and like
Yeah. What an
just
environment.
like when I walk downstairs into like one of the other like I guess the common area. And they were all just like, they're just, it looked like one big family, which is
Yeah.
super
Oh,
cool.
beautiful, man. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think, I'm not jumping, but like, that's like the currents of like personal connections is where that happens. You know what I mean? It's like when you get these, and so I like that. I feel like that's what I is happening around now. It's like that's what
Yeah.
I feel. It's like the vibes are more than just the beat and the hit and the Lamborghini. It's like it's like the in between where like it really gets the sauce, of the environment, which is where creativity thrives.
It really is. It does, right? Because
Yeah,
like you can't be creative in an environment where you don't feel free, and you can't feel free if you don't feel safe. And if
mm,
you have to, there's like a vulnerability there. And like
yeah,
everybody just seems to like be really looking out for each other and like
mm,
celebrating
that's awesome.
each other's success. Like
Yeah,
it's hard to find, like I just had this actually maybe for the first time in my life. Um like like my friend Nikki, right? Like she's like we seriously have like such a soul connect because it's hard to find people that are in entertainment that you're not competing with. Like
hmm,
because most people don't understand how that works. You're like, your success doesn't dim my light.
yeah,
In fact, the opposite's true,
yeah.
really, and it's just
It
like,
can be, yeah,
yeah, it's like you do you the best that you can. I do me the best that I can. And then you're like unevitable,
yeah, yeah.
the best. And
You know,
it's
it,
like,
it, yeah. I mean, and not to sound cliche, but like, if it's the first time anybody hears this imagery, it impacted me the first time I heard it. But it's kind of like the metaphor I like is a candle. It's like when you take a candle and you light another candle, it doesn't dim you. You know what I mean? It just adds
Yes,
more light.
and it just adds more light.
Yeah,
And what's meant for you is yours,
yeah,
period.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
important to just stand in your ground, and
yeah,
you're grounding in, like, in who you are, and
yeah,
just and when people do that, I don't feel I don't feel a need why would I be competing against we're not competing. It's not a pie.
yeah,
It's like, people have
yeah.
like, the concept
Truth.
of,
I mean,
like, an endless number, like
yeah,
infinity, is hard to fathom, but it is infinity. Like, there is
yeah,
an endless amount of opportunities. There's
yeah, truly.
opportunities that doors you didn't even know could be doors,
Yeah, yeah,
that open up, and it also is nice to have people around you who are, like, killing it,
yeah,
Like, that makes me proud. I'm not
yeah,
that
yeah.
I don't I just, I feel like I've elevated that part of my life
Yes.
recently, and it
Yeah.
just it makes me feel very whole.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You're taking form, and I think this is where you knew that this was you. You just had to wait to grow into it, and like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's it.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
awesome. Last night was a night of celebration. I'm glad you guys. I'm so happy to hear that you picked up on because I felt it same on here.
you did
It
too.
was like it was just like it was a moment to be like, stop, raise a glass. This is like so,
This is it.
a nice moment. So I'm happy to
It
hear that.
is.
That's
It's
awesome.
important to celebrate
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
because I think especially as artists, we this is crazy as like, my ear when I listen to music when I listen to my music,
Yeah,
or when I listen to myself sing,
yeah,
it's, sort of a double-edged sword, right? Because I've trained myself to listen for improvement, right?
hmm,
Which is good, because
yeah,
that makes you get better. But also not good because I can't hear it sometimes for what it actually is, and
yeah,
then it takes somebody else listening to it, be like, "Yo, you fucking crushed that," to be like, "Oh, really? I almost didn't wanna play it," and they're like, "This is the best vocal I've ever heard you do," and I'm like, "There's something wrong with me." Okay.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I mean, look, it's
perfection is, you know
look, the artists. Back to everything that we're saying, like, and I'm tied into the community, like that. You're saying like that you were amongst yesterday alone. Like being an artist is also very vulnerable, man.
very
I mean,
vulnerable.
just putting yourself out there. So to have a safe community,
Yeah,
a tribe that can like you, where you can find your space to do that, is extremely valuable. And like,
it is.
so and so like because yeah, when you putting yourself out there for anybody else to hear it is one thing, and then the internal game, because sometimes artists can dial into just I'm trying to be the best me. You do,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And so then you're kind of moving in that way,
yeah.
and then it can be hard to like see the forest for the trees when you're doing all that. But what I like to resonate with, and I know you're going to dig on this because you and I both listen to, have a lot of in similar conversations going on the side. But
Yeah.
like, and without naming the name, but I'm sure you'll pick up the vibe. It's like, but just it anytime you're confronted with a situation that you're not really fucking really vibing with, at least know where you want to vibe, and that's where you get the
That's
value, so like even if it kind of rubs you the wrong way, just take that rub, put it
yes.
into what it is you want, and then let it serve you that way.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
all 100%. It's also important to have the people who are gonna be honest with you, like,
yeah,
I need to be vulnerable enough to let people hear my stuff, and then also have a thick enough skin to be able to hear the truth, and sometimes not every single thing that you make is the best thi you're usually it goes like this, right?
yeah,
Sometimes, a lot of times it goes like this, and that's great, but,
yeah,
sometimes you gotta know the difference between that's one person's opinion and, um, constructive criticism, and you're like, "Oh,
yeah,
that's a really good idea. We should put a second course in there," or, like, whatever,
yeah,
but, like,
yeah, like this.
people can get stuck, and it's important to also be able to receive, not being so stuck on what you've done and precious with your work that
Hmm.
that's the end all be all, and being able to be open and having the people around you who are uh so supportive that they are cool to tell you the truth and want you to do the best, which
Yeah,
is you got to know the difference because not
yeah,
everybody's for you.
right. And you not and right, not everyone's for you, or and not everybody knows how to really articulate themselves in a way that's going to light you up either.
Ooh,
Like
yeah,
they may want to say, support, but they may not have no. I was watching something really interesting on like really the power of the word in this instance. It's like you can say things in many ways, but like how you say them actually affects what the other person feels, right? Yeah. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Because if you say something, you're really good at that, by the way.
Okay.
You
Thank
can
you.
say things in a way where people will be able to hear it because, if you come at me like hard, anybody, like your first instinct is to go, your defenses are up. And when your defenses are up, you can't hear them because
Nice. Yes.
that's
Right.
not a receptive place.
Right.
So, like, being able to articulate what you need to say in a way that makes them still feel seen and heard, and like, that's
Yeah.
important,
Heck
you know?
yeah. Heck yeah. I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. Great. Great. Well, I'm glad you were vibing in the studio. I can't wait to vibe in the studio with y'all.
I
Think
know.
it's a
Me
great
too.
place.
Me
Yeah.
too.
And the studio's doing well over here. We just got another client who's coming in on like his, this guy's kind of like an elder, and he's been there. He used to rock the DC scene and like worked in a studio and like in these clubs. And he's got to be like 65 or something, and he did his rodeo, got off, came back, did it again, got off, and now he's going back in, and it's just like, and he just discovered us, and he's like totally vibing. He locked in a big
Oh,
project, and he's got like this Peter Gabriel vibe to him. His voice is like very Peter Gabriel, and a cool songwriter, like, just neat. It's like,
that's awesome.
yeah.
So is he's been like working with you guys on an album or
He's just coming in. He's just landing. And so like it just
got
like
it?
locked in like a project. And so like, it's because we get people coming in, they come in for this part, project based, and so it's not
100%.
always, so it's like just locking in with a new project is always like
Yeah,
fun. In the studio environment is cool to see foster
for
and grow.
sure.
I love that environment.
Even if it like yesterday wasn't for my artist project, it was just for sync stuff, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And doing that is fun to me because
yeah,
it's like you challenge yourself, right? You're like, how fast can I be at this?
yeah,
How
right.
how quickly am I gonna get this? Like
Yes, yeah.
that's what be fast in the studio. There's a difference between being just a singer and being a recording artist.
And being a sync artist, I mean, okay, music industry folk listening, like the whole sync world is it's a whole piece of the situation that like,
Huge,
when
huge.
you go in as an artist and you just want, and you're like, you know, attracted to the stage of the light, the attention, this, that, and the other, there's a lot to get from that. But meanwhile, there's like a whole sync universe, that really becomes when you have an understanding of that field and you're in that field and playing it out, it can be a really like supportive part of your system, right? It makes for a smooth
Yes,
flight, when all
yeah.
your systems are running. So if you getting involved into the sync world and understanding what that is and how that can really like put wind beneath your wings.
You do that, don't you?
Yeah, I've gotten into it. We definitely took the COVID years to like build the company for that, and
For
it's great. We just sent our first email out to like, so we sell, we knew that we have a lot of artists around here that are releasing music, but then either they go and they're off, and the few that we know are off touring the world, but many of them aren't. You know what I mean? Many of them like come in, they do a song, and nothing happens, and like, or it's kind of there, they stay local for a long time, but the songs are very powerful. And so we know about the sync world, through our various successes, and we're like, all right,
Us.
let's wrap them in. Let's build the company and get our people's music together and go give like and shop them for themselves. So
That's
educate.
great.
Yeah, and so we spent our COVID years doing that, and we have like So we're very much at the beginning, but we just set we have like, 250 plus songs or wherever we're going. But we sent our first communication out to everyone celebrating 12 placements that we got, last year. Yeah. And so like, yeah, we're like, which is nice. I mean, it's all, various degrees, but like it's moving and it was so nice to finally have that moment where like, okay, like, we don't know how it's going to look a year from when, we know what we want to do. We know the value we want to provide, and we know that it takes a lot of hustle and we're committed to it, but to actually, but at the same time, like you can plant a garden, no guarantee that the rain's going to fall and give you what you need, whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was nice to get to that
can't guarantee results. You can do
can't
the best
guarantee
you
results.
can do.
Yeah.
But like all you can, and that's kind of the scary thing about being an artist, right? It's like you can create something that is just potentially groundbreaking, and that might not even be the thing. And this crazy record that you made one night when you were just like bored and don't have no opinions about it whatsoever is the thing that just blows up. And you're like, really? That's the thing? All right, fine. I'll go along for this ride,
Yeah, sure thing,
Maybe you'll see what I really do in the meantime too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I heard a story about that. I kind of want to get my coffee. I left it on my desk. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. It's right
All right,
here.
it won't take too long. I'll show some stuff.
I got it.
Oh man, that was fast.
I told you I'm lightning.
Yo,
don't judge me. It's from McDonald's.
Oh my god, I ain't no judging. It's coffee. I love you. That's it. That's all I need to know.
I love McDonald's coffee. It's so good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did something crazy this morning. Oh dang, I'm having an idea. I'm sidetracking.
Okay.
I got that bagel thing they have for breakfast.
I don't know about that.
So good. I haven't had McDonald's in
5
years, probably like 8 years or so.
Okay.
But it just reminds me of being on a road trip as a child. They always wake me up for breakfast orders or whatever. I'm like, McDonald's,
Sometimes it hits the spot like nothing else, right? 100%. Yep.
It does. What was I saying right before I had to have my coffee?
Yeah, what were we saying? See, I'm also just
You're the same as me.
where were we?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll digress. I digress. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just like in a really good spot. Like I feel peace, and I'm just like happy, and I love making music, and I love the people around me, and like I feel more connected with, fans than I have been before ever.
Man, you're circling right now. I zoomed back out. I zoomed big, and we have Jane back in the house.
Jane,
totally tagging in, and she's coming through. Like
that's awesome.
Speaking of a good community out there.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Hey Jane, she says, "Hey guys."
Hey, glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
so
some stuff going on.
Yeah, we do. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you pick up. We do. And
can we talk about this now?
I don't know. You got your feet are on the ground, right?
Okay, yeah. Why don't we put this in question form?
What's that?
What are your thoughts on us releasing like a cover album?
Oh.
Like, is that something we should do? Like take the songs because we have songs that we've done and recorded that we have not released.
That's right. So
like, what if that's a thing? Like we just like take some of our stuff, we take our music that we've done and some music that we are doing.
Yeah.
And we release a cover album together in conjunction to my album that's being released at the end of the summer. What do you think about that?
Are you asking me? I'm over the moon about it.
Love
it. Yeah.
Should we do that? Ask Jane if we should do that. Should we do that, Jane?
Jane, should we do that? Let's see what she says. We should put it out there. I got a yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see what she say. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Let's do it. We should do that.
Yes, yes, yes. All caps.
Yes.
All exclamation marks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had a physical album? Have you ever had a physical album?
I have had physical albums. I've had several of
Cool.
them, and I can show them to you all. Uh, one, well, here
Show
we go.
us.
Are you ready? Watch.
Yeah.
I have two of them here, and then one of them on my wall. So this is the first one. All right, you ready? I'm a spirited guy, okay? So I came out kicking on the spirit. I was like, y'all got to meet me here first. All right. So this is my first album.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Custom art by the boy living on in streets of San Francisco.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my God. I love this.
Yeah. So this was recorded in the garage.
What?
9 months, and it's a concept album. So like it kind of starts and doesn't really end until it ends, you know. But it
Your
takes you all
first
over.
album was a concept album. You're such an overachiever.
It
I'm like,
was.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to hear this, by the way. Like,
Oh, it's mellow. It's a pretty mellow thing. It starts
yeah,
off with like a very kind of like, you
just a
know,
vibe.
yeah. It's quite pretty.
I think that's kind of like what I'm. Oh yeah, play it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll play you that. All right. It starts off with a. Well, that's not in tune, but it ends up with like the. That's not in tune. Give me a second. I'll give you one piece of it.
It's so amazing to me when people can just like tune by ear.
You have to listen to it. I don't do it justice going fast. Like the first song itself is like 8 minutes. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to just like at the end of it, it comes down. But yeah.
Did you produce it too?
Yeah, we produced it, recorded and produced in the basement, in the garage.
That's
crazy. San
crazy.
Francisco in the 2000s, and it was awesome. I mean, because the street was just so full of artistry. All of our friends were doing stuff. We were cutting albums, but then we were starting to get gigs and to get bigger gigs and really kind of start to like engage with the community and like, you know, and just it ultimately was like a stepping stone towards eventually the record deal that I got out there. But you know, that was absolute, but that didn't happen until the second record, which was this one.
I love this.
Yes. That was my first thing. And then the album was called Ambassadors of Morning.
And there we have it.
And there we have it. Yeah.
Where did Ambassadors of Morning come from?
It's a lyric. You know, very few people, I mean, people have gotten it, but it's like a deep track Pink Floyd lyric. So like if, you know, Pink Floyd's got an album called Echoes. No, the song is called Echoes. The album's called Metal. And Echoes is like the B side. It's like takes the entire second side of the vinyl, you know. But it was like one of their gem of B side tracks, you know, and it comes from there. And you know, the diehard Pink Floyd fans that pick that up. So it comes from the song Echoes from the album Metal, Pink Floyd. Listen to it. It's very beautiful.
Okay. I can't believe this is the first time I've ever asked you that. That's really crazy. And I am going to listen to that.
Yeah, listen to it. But it also plays with like where I'm from. I'm from DC. It's all ambassadors everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like all the country representation is here. I grew up in DC. So like, you know, I was a part of all the ambassadors. You know, my parents were there. You know, like I get it. So
really, your parents were? What did you?
Well, not my parents, but my parents were also like involved in like, you know, the DC scene is a lot of political stuff, cross-governmental work. You know, it's like the industry basically here. So that's what I knew. But then let me fast forward. So then that got me a record deal, whatever. And then if you'll just see it, do I have that record is mine. Vinyl. This guy.
Oh, the one on top?
One on top, yeah. I
It's
think
kind
I
of
have a copy hanging out over here somewhere. Is that it? Yeah. And then I got a record deal.
cool.
And then I mean, long story short, whatever. This is my other vinyl.
Oh, that's sick. I love the artwork. Like, this is so, who are the other people? Are they your band?
That was my band at the time. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the feather in this guy.
Yeah.
Wide awake. I love you were like way ahead. You were ahead of the game always.
Oh man. Am I?
Yeah,
Well, I love where we are. I love what we're doing. And I
me too.
love this idea of this cover album with you.
I
Oh my
think
gosh.
it's why not? Right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like
look, I've loved duets,
me too.
always, and more than that, like like that's the one side of it. But then I love working with you. It's just fun. It's been nothing
It's
but
fun and it's easy. You
yeah,
know, like it was just a no-brainer. Like I mean, from literally the moment we met, I was like, this is easy. Like I've known you for 1,000 years,
yeah,
just
yeah,
like, anyway, so what are you doing? Like, it didn't matter that we met yesterday. We're like, let's get in the studio,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah,
Anyway, and it's
yeah.
awesome. And like your whole fam, they're just awesome. And like, there was something I was going to say about, the album thing. Oh, you want to hear something crazy?
Yes, I do.
You want to hear something really crazy that I
Oh
probably
my,
shouldn't say, but I'm gonna because I'm crazy.
oh my God.
All right. Speaking of politicians, I'm like leaning in close, like no
I
one's
know.
like this is on the internet. What are you talking about, Victoria?
Yes.
Okay, so
Where'd you
Link
go?
like saved the vice president. So like there was I don't know if I should say this. Okay, I'm gonna say it. So like we Link was at Kimmel and
Link being her husband that I love. Met.
yes,
Yeah. Go ahead.
and Kamala was there,
Yeah.
the VP,
Yeah. Okay.
and protesters tried to come in and it got weird. And
Oh.
Link like
Do you have to
saved her. Link saved her ass. Like
you have to jump?
he had to put this guy and
Whoa.
like people were starting to get feisty, man. And so like but this what do you call it? What do you call the Secret Service?
Yeah.
Like they didn't want bad press, and I get that, but like also, whoa, like people get wild when they protest, and it's like maybe your intention. I don't even know what their intentions were, but like even when your intentions are good, but people get hurt, and it's
Mhm.
like you can't do stuff like that to the vice president. That's dangerous, man. Like you're gonna get yourself
Yeah.
hurt,
Mhm. Mhm.
and like
Oh yeah.
well, I can't say it more really, but like
Wow.
I'm like, you're a freaking hero, man. Like that's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah, these people started really getting wild, and it's like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like protest, but not inside this building.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
people try to do that with Kimmel all the time, and it's like they think that they're gonna be able to get on TV or something, and it's like that's not how this works. Like,
Mhm.
there's a way to get your message across, but that's not the way to do it.
Mhm.
Like, you're putting other people in danger, and
Yeah.
that's shitty,
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough one. Like I get it. This is where, it's interesting how music plays into these moments when societies are really transitioning and voices are coming out of the muck or, out of the shadows and
They ripped his shirt off like the Hulk, and, like, there was, like, 18 of them.
yeah.
Like, and sorry, go ahead. It's
Yeah.
small in there. People think it's a big place. It's not a big
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand it. I think, having spent, time in DC, I think I mean, I don't know, you have LA too. LA, you got tons of money, tons of celebrities, tons of security everywhere you go, and yeah,
Could you imagine just somebody trying to,
no thanks.
like,
Yeah.
imagine being her or like anybody, any person who's in a position of power or that people want to use you to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, like
Yeah.
don't like. I think that's become a problem, whether you agree with somebody or not. This is not. I don't want to get into like what political opinions we have on this
Yeah. Yeah. Best
right
to
now.
leave that in
Yeah,
another conversation for
don't
sure.
care. The point is people are human beings, and I think that like we've gotten to a place where like people have really dehumanized
Yeah.
other people, and I've even with my friends who are like kind of famous or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just like looking at their page, even on my page, like people are like she said, I love it when she does this, or like she said this thing or whatever, and I'm like, do they do they know that I'm I'm reading it? Like I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
they do. And like other people are like, they'll talk about my friend, I say even Nikki on her page, like she's all good things. Everybody loves her, but like
Yeah.
it's still funny how it it's connected. Like we have more connection in a sense than we ever have, and yet somehow not the we have a broader connection, but not a deeper connection.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
like, that's a human people, they're human beings. Like, don't just say shit. And like, would you say that to somebody? If you wouldn't say something to someone's face,
Yeah.
just don't say it at all,
Yeah,
period.
I mean, and yeah, I mean, there's so many places to build on this because you're talking about Kamala, you're talking about that's the climate of the world, and then there, I know artists that are powerful, doing things in the Middle East for this conflict that's unfolding over there. And I'm hip to it too because I have community members that are human rights lawyers and like all this stuff, and they're just like there's a lot, it's that's there, and it's propelled me into communities and conversations where we're having like board meetings about like how to move these dialogues forward in like
A
in a
healthy
way that's meaningful, and like, and I think ultimately it also meets like the virtual world, and in terms of like they're just ultimately what I'm seeing is that there are systems of social systems that we need to invest in, to keep us relatable, and like because without those systems, then it becomes a disconnect. Like, yeah, you are just a she because you're there and I'm over here, and and like, and it's like there's these different,
is
yeah.
they think we
So
did those people don't have feelings. Like you can't just be sitting there behind your computer in your mom's basement, like getting hot pockets and like be like, this girl is like you look like an idiot or like whatever they
yeah,
say. It's
yeah.
just like,
Trolls and stuff
why
like that.
would you
Yeah,
say that to that person? What did they do to you? If you didn't like something, just scroll past it. You
yeah.
know
Well,
what I mean?
hurt people hurt people.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
I've used that for earlier before too.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
well, I wouldn't walk into a buffet and then be like, I like pineapple pizza, big fan. I'm gonna
Mhm.
grab that one, put that on my plate. But then I see these other things out here that I would never eat,
Yeah,
and be like, excuse me, please
yeah,
take this away. We don't need this here. This is here. Just don't get it.
yeah,
Get
yeah,
what you like, and then move past the other parts. That's for somebody else. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You're not gonna dictate what's available to you. Just like get what you like and then move on. That's all.
yeah, yeah,
That's pretty simple, isn't it? Like you
yeah,
think it's yeah, just and like
for
I feel
sure.
like there's a weird thing between like people need to like I think honestly, I'm fine with burying my head in the sand. Totally fine with it. I don't
Yeah,
care. I don't care because it doesn't feel good to feel powerless, you know?
yeah, yeah,
And like all I can do is I do music. And if that helps, then that's what I'm gonna do to do something about it. But when I'm just sitting there focusing on everything that like is totally out of my power,
right.
it makes you feel a little like defeated. And it's like, well, there's a
See,
better way of going about this.
but and there's a room for a conversation about what power do you actually have,
Yes.
right? Because some people misplace their power. Some people
Right.
don't know that they have power. Some people know that they have power and are careless with their power. Some people are, like are power, like it goes on. So then that becomes a very interesting, that should be like the next segment, because that's a deep one to uncover,
It is.
but it's like, it's there, and you know, having, and I've had, and so yeah, that's the conversation, and and
There's a lot
it
to say about that.
there's a lot to say about that. I'm like hesitant to jump in now, but
Me too.
but
Let's see.
I'm happy that we got here, because teach their own. I'm not going to tell anybody. Ultimately, what I would do is, like, you want to bury yourself in the hand, you bury, like, just using you because you're in the conversation, but like, do you, like, if that's how you want to do it and do your music, do it, because like the power that I have is in me, not on you. Like, I just
Yeah,
got to work with what I got. I got
that's
to do
it.
it the way I can do it, the best way I can do it.
The best way I
So
can.
like, yeah. So like,
But also, like, just being the light in the world. Like, you don't have to. The best way to get, I feel like, to make changes is to, well, like, who is it? Who said it? Mandela? The best
yeah,
way to be the change that you want to see in the world.
yeah,
Like, just
yeah.
be that light. And then
Dante, the one who got that
instead of like trying to force feed it down people's throats,
one. Yeah.
sometimes they're not in a place to be able to hear it. But when
Hmm.
what will make them in a place to be able to hear what you have to say? Just being light and like
Hmm.
being loving and supportive and being able to have those conversations, but from a place of love,
Yeah. Right.
you know?
Sure. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
And that kind of circles me back to like the essence of what we were talking about at the beginning of the conversation about,
Yeah.
like, doing the community work. It's like, yeah, putting that out there first, having that love be something that you put out forward, is where it all unlocks.
100%. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the person that cures cancer, but I do music, and music has health benefits, you know?
Yeah.
Resonance, I do think can cure cancer. That's just my opinion. Don't
Yeah.
murder
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
but
And and maybe you are the person that cures cancer.
I don't know,
You don't
but
know exactly, right?
all you can do is what you can do, and so just, like, we just focus on doing that, and then you'll feel more in your power, and the more in your power you feel, the more you can empower other people, and that's how you change the world, man. I'm such a hippie.
No, I love it. No, I do. I love it, and I love that you're charged with it. Now is all we got. We're on this conversation, so I
That's
will
it.
drop one more gem with you as well that
Yeah,
sits perfectly with what we're talking about.
yeah.
But it's like a deeper level. So like, I'm gonna stay deep for a second,
Yeah, I like
and
it.
just compliment your pop, because that was high. So like, you know, what I found that really helps, and people have heard it, people haven't. If you haven't, this helps. Even if you have, it's always good to circle back to it. I found I've been using it so much, but there's like a Toltec wisdom that they live by, like four principles in everything. Okay,
Mhm.
and this is how you kind of handle. So it's like, if you do this, that, and the other, you'll be fine, and everything else will work its way around. So let's see if I can remember them. One, like, the first one is, don't take things personally. So like, you know, even if
Are these
Kamala,
the 4 agreements?
yeah, the four agreements. Yeah. Like, I have a poster of the four agreements up. Like, I live and die by the four agreements.
One of the most important books you can read, really, probably.
Okay. See,
It's a
and
good
you're
one.
there already. See,
Yeah.
this is why,
We're so in
yeah,
sync.
this is why
So
our album is gonna be fire.
sick. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, is it don't take things personally,
Right.
and then
Okay.
oh, wait.
Be meticulous with your word.
Yes, that's a big one.
That's a big one. Um, do your best, right?
That's
So as long as you're doing your best, speaking carefully, not taking it personally, and what's the fourth one?
oh,
Uh,
what is it? I don't know, I might have to Google it, I don't
no,
remember.
no, I got it. So
Be impeccable with your
don't take
word.
this personally. I got this. Well, give me 10 seconds. Okay, it's a game show host, right? 10 seconds. Don't take things personally. Be meticulous with your word. And do the best that you can. And 4, 3, 2, 1. What is it?
Don't Google it, you can have more than 10 seconds.
I can go run upstairs and check that poster out. What is now the pressure's on. And I know if people will be listening, they don't want to wait and watch me think. Um,
True.
4 agreements.
Are you Googling it?
Yeah, I'm doing something about it. Here we go.
See?
And it is uh
Don't make assumptions.
don't assume. Yes. The
Ah,
huge one. Huge
big.
one. All right, so let's give that one a little bit of talk since it's in my mind and it's so huge.
Yeah,
Like not
that is a big
assuming.
one.
Like, oh my gosh, man, I see people suffer
Ooh.
because they assume. And it's like,
Ooh.
I won't name them because they're close, but like, and I work with them, and like, this is how we, a community is a tribe and a family, like, but like
Yeah,
when things happen and the assumption goes to like, and then the assumption kicks in at all, it can take you down these rabbit holes. It can
so true.
spin you out. And
So
then
true.
all of a sudden, it's nothing like that. Oh, you just assumed. Meanwhile, you get the backstory, completely different shape shifts 180%, or fully,
That's so true. That's why communication matters so much. Communication is a spiritual practice, especially in relationships,
Yeah.
because like you're looking at what's happening based upon probably bringing your past with you. So you're looking through these lenses
Mm-hmm.
that might not be reality, and like you got to be able to just don't assume the worst in people, like don't assume that everybody hates you and that you suck. Like, don't, because you have no idea what this person's thinking. It could be something completely different that has nothing to do with you
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And like that is especially for like influencers and stuff. That's a really big one. Like, because the reason people get upset about things or say something mean usually has everything to do with them and really nothing to do with you.
Totally.
It's
Which is what
really,
back to what you were saying about the Gandhi thing. Like, just be the best you can be.
that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like everything, you just, because
That's all
that's
you
really
that's all
at
you
the end
can
of the
do.
day, that's all you can really do.
Uh-huh.
Everything. Yeah.
And I'm gonna fail if I'm trying to be the best you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be an off-brand version of you. That's
Yeah.
not what I do.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you
Right. Right.
your authenticity is your superpower,
Yeah.
because nobody can do that the way that you do it. No one ever could. No one ever will be able to. Only you. And if you can sit in that and really like a lot of these spiritual practices and these like spiritual teachers kind of imply, and they really actually don't, if you look way deeper, but it's become understood that there's why do seekers rarely become finders, right? Because because they're seeking for something outside of themselves. You're not going to find it there.
Mm,
You got to get in your body. It's in your body, but like sometimes, ooh, this is going to be a heavy conversation that I'm not sure we have enough time to go down.
yeah. Yeah. We're here
But
until the buzzer beats.
the I'll just like we'll pick that up another time. But
Sure.
be in your body and like ground yourself and who you are, and the world is your oyster, babe.
Yeah.
Coffee cheers.
Coffee cheers. And you know what? Maybe next time we'll just pick up one of the 4 agreements and just see where we go.
I love that
Let's
idea.
just talk about an agreement.
I think so. It's
Yeah,
been
I
a
love
while
it.
since I've revisited the agreements.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
I
and
It's a good time.
yeah, it's a good time for sure. Well, Victoria, always a pleasure. This was a great
Absolutely.
conversation with you. And
So good.
yeah, and stay tuned until next week. Can't wait.
That's right.
All right.
All right, we better get going on that album. Yay!
Yeah, I mean, I can talk to you now until for now. Yeah, well, I'll call you in a minute.
Okay,
Saying to
you
say
got it.
bye,
Thanks,
and
Samir.
here we
Bye,
go.
guys.
Okay. All right. See you guys next
See you.
week.
Bye.